I got Mewtwo! Oh, he's the best character ever! I love him! I have a Mewtwo! Is probably how most of you thought this review was going to go. I mean, let's be honest here. Mewtwo DLC review? What even is that supposed to mean? Well, you see, those of you who don't actually have both versions of the game, or of course forgot to register them on Club Nintendo, are probably wondering if he's worth the $4 price tag. I mean, it's an awful lot for one character. Luckily, I got him for free. So I'm here to tell you whether or not he's worth buying. So without further ado, let's get straight to what you've been waiting for, 8 minutes of Mewtwo gameplay! Also, there might be a review in there somewhere. I forgot if I added that in. So the first thing to cover is exactly how Mewtwo himself plays. So I went into training to show him off. I picked DK for my opponent since he is one of the strongest and heaviest characters, so he perfectly represents the minimum amount of damage Mewtwo can do. Or at least the closest to the minimum I can get, without trying too hard. After picking a flat stage, cause you know, that's what the pros play on, I hopped in to try this guy out. So the first thing I noticed is that Mewtwo can die, which is disappointing, but hey, at least he's in the game. Although I kind of expected him to be some kind of demigod, but you get what you get. Then I tested the second most important part of Smash Bros, the taunts. Yes, I am obviously a master of Smash Bros. Overall, they're all pretty okay, but they could be better if Mewtwo actually talked. Yeah, he doesn't really make any sounds except for these weird metallic noises. So he has a relatively normal movement speed. He isn't as fast as characters like Pikachu, but he isn't as slow as characters like Bowser either, so it's a pretty good speed in general. His recovery, however, is amazing. He can get as far as many characters with only a double jump, and with the teleport, his recovery is great. Mewtwo can literally get off the screen. It's especially cool since a good recovery can make him much more accessible to newcomers. Now for his normal attacks. His standard attack is an energy ball in front of him, which can be turned into a rapid combo with a strong swipe to finish it off. His forward smash is a powerful jet of energy he shoots in front of him. It deals pretty good attack, doing around 18 to 25 damage. We have a strong burst of energy on the ground for his down smash, which is a little less strong, dealing about 18 to 21 damage. And now we have his up smash, which I love. This is by far one of my favorite attacks that Mewtwo has. Basically, he sucks the enemy in, does a little damage, and then shoots the enemy out. While it only deals around 12-15 damage if you miss the combo, the 7 damage that is added to that attack if you land it makes it, well, by far one of my favorite smash attacks with Mewtwo, especially since it deals some awesome knockback. His taps are a little underwhelming, being a simple tail swipe, although the down tap is very fun to spam. Maybe it's just because I can never actually use taps well, I don't know. Lastly, in his normal attacks, we have his air capabilities. We have a full body shock, which can pull off some rapid damage if you hit the enemy in the air, but is pretty weak otherwise. We have a claw for the forward air attack and a tail swipe for the backwards air attack, both doing around 11 to 14 damage, an upward tail swipe that does around 9 to 12 damage, and a downward energy attack that did 14 damage every time I tried it. Honestly, I tried it multiple times and every single time it did 14 damage. Honestly, for how hard some of his air attacks are to hit with, they don't do that much damage, leaving his air capabilities lacking. Mewtwo also has some pretty lackluster throws. We have his forward throw, which only does 10 damage and honestly barely throws the enemy anywhere. I mean, sure, these balls of energy can hit multiple enemies, but they don't do that much damage either. His back throw does the same damage for even less distance and can't even hurt other enemies. His up throw does a little more damage with 12 damage, with the still lacking distance, and his down throw does 9 damage and a low distance 2. It's not that they're bad throws, I mean the up and forward throws are decent, it's just that a lot of characters' throws are much better. And for the dodges, we get a special treat. The exact same dodges every other character has. Oh wait, he teleports 1 second for his air dodge. But honestly, I don't care. And now we get to the fun part, the special attacks. First off, we have Samus's Charge Shot. Yeah, it's basically Samus's Charge Shot. You charge it up, are unable to attack while you do so, and you can save the shot for later if you move left or right. They even took out how it damaged those who touched it from melee. I generally don't use this, since it has this really weird physics where it bounces along the ground, making it easy to dodge or worse, reflect. Speaking of which, Mewtwo's side special is a reflecting attack that, unlike Mario's cape, also flips the enemy on their belly, leaving them open for some combos. This is a great reflecting attack since it has 2 uses, and it's extremely easy to reflect with, unlike other reflecting attacks. I already went over Mewtwo's teleport. It doesn't have any other uses, like how Zelda's can do that awesome combo attack. Whatever, it's still an awesome recovery. Lastly, we have Detect, which would be overpowered, but you have to be literally right in front of your enemy, and it only works if they are facing you. Sure, the amount of times you'll literally be staring your enemy in the face is limited, but Detect stuns the opponent for a time that depends on how much damage they have taken. It works for like 0.5 seconds at 0%, but it can work for over 4 seconds at 100%, which gives you plenty of time to hit that KO. Also, it does 1% damage. Trust me, that 1% is vital to your victory. His final attack is, well, his final smash. This sends a giant energy ball that will stun and then launch anyone who is hit by it. It's pretty effective as that the energy ball has a pretty good range. I mean, it's not the greatest final smash since, you actually have to do work with it, but it's up there in quality. Okay, I'm just gonna come right out and say it. As a fighter, I love Mewtwo. He's perfect for both newcomers and experienced players, and he's quickly rising in the ranks of my most used fighters, although that may just be because I'm just using him a lot for footage. His great recovery and strong attacks make it possible for newcomers to quickly get used to him, and Detect and his Reflect attack make it possible for the most experienced players to create unique strategies with him. Personally, I believe Mewtwo is the best on flat stages in 1v1 battles, since a lot of his attacks like the Energy Ball, Detect, and Reflect are easiest when the stage is flat and there are only 2 people on the stage, but I can see him being very effective in other ways too. Overall, Mewtwo is a character that I find very effective in battles, and I can even think of a completely new way to play him. Introducing Mewtwo Tennis. In this game, someone shoots out an energy ball, and then both players just keep reflecting it back and forth at each other to see who finally wins. It's a pretty epic game, and it's kind of fun to see how well it turns out, despite it being one of the stupidest things that can possibly happen in Smash Bros. So, in conclusion, Mewtwo is probably one of my favorite characters in Smash Bros. Right now. He's great for both new and veteran characters, although I would say he's leaning more on the beginner side, making him perfect for me. He's more of a defensive character. He can deal some strong hits, but it is probably best for him to counter other players, slowly dealing enough damage to take him out with that final up smash. Or of course, any other attack if you're not me. But I can also see the possibility of an offensive Mewtwo. That's just not exactly how I play him. And finally, when rating this character, we cannot forget that he has some mediocre grabs and his air combat could be better. So overall, I give Mewtwo an 89 out of 100. While he has some mediocre grabs, aerial combat, and his standard special could have been a little bit more original, he's strong, defensive, and has a great recovery, making him an all-around amazing character. If you would like to see another one of these, then give this video a like, and if it gets enough publicity, then maybe I'll consider doing a review of a different character. Overall then, I'll see you next time, or at the very least hope to see you later on this channel.
Oh my god, I got Mewtwo! Oh, he's the best character ever! I love him! I have a Mewtwo!